Hi everyone, it's Alvin and Elizabeth from The Right Move.
We are back with the next episode of our condo review series, and today we're going to talk about the biggest launch for 2021, Normanton Park.
We'll be splitting our review into two videos with us running through our thoughts on the macro perspective about Normanton Park and talking about the three things we like and don't like in this first video.
So for the second part, we'll be taking a tour of the show flat next week and bringing you guys along to review the final details of the project, like our thoughts on the finishing, the layouts, etc.
So stay tuned, and if you are kiasu and don't want to miss out on that next video, you can hit the like and subscribe button and you'll be informed when the new video is out.
So let's get started. But before we move on to the main points, we want to address the elephant in the room. As most of you might already know, Normanton Park was supposed to be launched in middle of 2019, but it was delayed as the developers were unable to obtain a sale license for the launch.
But they are close to resolving it, and that is why we are preparing for the launch now. We'll touch on this in greater detail later on in the video. Let's do a quick run through of the basic details of the project. Normanton Park is an en bloc project of the former Normanton Park. Guess it was so iconic they decided to keep its name.
It's located in the rest of Central Region under District 5, which covers Buona Vista, Clementi, West Coast. The same district as the other launches like Cambridge Hill Residences, Park Clementi, Twin View, Clavon and Vista Grand. So only Cambridge Hill Residences and Normanton Park are considered to be located in the RCR.
Perhaps the most standout feature about the project is its land size, at approximately 63,600 square meters or 684,000 square feet, making it the largest development in terms of land size to be launched in the last 10 years. And when completed, the second largest in terms of number of units at 1,862, behind Treasure at Tampines.
The next standout detail will be its proximity to plenty of transformation, namely One North, Science Park and the Greater Southern Waterfront.
While the Greater Southern Waterfront is a definite selling point, it's probably going to take another 10 years or so to reach its full potential. If you've been following us, you know that we like to consider factors that are closer in terms of time horizon and within our control.
Before we jump into the three things that we like and don't like about Normanton Park, please do like and subscribe to help support the channel if you do find our videos useful. Thank you. So on to the three things that we like about Normanton Park. Number one, its size. You know how much we like big developments.
So why is big good? We've talked about this in many of our videos, namely the one about most profitable transactions.
But quick summary on the reasons. Profits are derived when the valuation of the unit increases, and valuations are derived primarily from past transactions.
Large developments tend to clock in 5 to 10 transactions every month. That helps in pushing up valuations and hence allowing owners to sell at higher prices. And we are adding on another layer to this. The sheer number of transactions also help the prices in a development bounce back quicker if prices were to drop. We like to use the term safety in numbers.
Oh, and not to mention, a large development can give you low maintenance fees like this. People do have reservations that units in large developments are harder to sell due to competition in the resale market. And yes, that is true to a certain extent, but if you know how to choose your unit type properly, the pros far outweigh the cons.
And another reason is that with Normanton Park being the last of the previous batch of mega en bloc projects to launch, it's unlikely that we'll see a project that will match it in terms of size in the foreseeable future.
On to the second thing that we like, quantums. The indicative setting prices of the various units are
Judging from the launch of Clavon and Penrose, where a noticeable trend of smaller units being snapped up on launch day, it is perhaps the last chance for those with a budget or looking to buy 1 or 2 bedrooms to enter the market.
a quick scan through of the remaining developer units in the whole of the RCR. Less than 20 units are under 1 million. And if you look at the West, the cheapest unit at Park Clementi and at Clavon is at 1.15 million and 1.38 million respectively. And at Cambridge Hill Residences, it is going at 1.42 million. So on a quantum perspective, Normanton Park is very affordable.
You'll also notice that there's a lot more lower quantum units available at Normanton Park as compared to the rest of the recent launches. And that is because Normanton Park was designed under the old rule whereby they're only required to have 70 square meter minimum average unit size versus, say, Clavon that needs to be designed with an average minimum unit size of 85 square meters.
So if you're the kind that have not much luck with draws, you can take comfort in knowing that Normanton Park will offer you more chances.
On that note about minimum average unit size, the entire stretch down Pasir Panjang running along West Coast Highway is limited to an even stricter minimum average unit size ruling of 100 square meters.
So what that means is that it will be very hard for future developments playing into the greater Southern Waterfront transformation between Normanton and Keppel to offer units at such quantums as they have to be built larger.
So if you're unsure about this whole minimum average unit size thing, we have also put in the link on another video of ours in the description below.
The third thing that we like about Normanton Park, timing. So there's a couple of things that we like about the timing of this launch.
The expected TOP being in Q3 2023 is just 2.5 years from now, a really short time if you're buying a brand new launch, versus this to say Treasure at Tampines, whereby the first buyers have to wait almost 4 years to collect their keys. Especially now that there's no more reissuance of options, for those upgraders that have to sell before buying, they don't have to endure such a long rental period.
But what we like more about the timing is that this launch is happening just before the expected pickup in the property market. And somehow or other, Kingsford has managed to repeat this again. We saw this in their previous project, Kingsford Water Bay. So let's take a look at the numbers.
Kingsford Water Bay was launched in early 2015 when the market was in the doldrums, so the developers had to price their project competitively to sell. But what we want to bring your attention to is the upward movement in prices in 2017 and 2018. This was in line with the en bloc rush, cause when there is a market upturn, who can increase the price the fastest? They are the developers. Oh, and in case you were wondering what happened here, cause in this graph, it charts PSF. This unit sold was a penthouse and hence the per square feet was significantly lower. Don't worry about the owner, he walked away with $162,000 profit in less than 2 years. Other than that, per square feet have risen significantly since the launch, thanks to the price run in 2017 and 2018.
So if you have been following us and watched our videos on the predictions for 2021, you'll understand why we feel the market will move upwards next year. For those of you who haven't catched it yet, the links are in the description.
So if the stars are aligned, we may see a similar trend happening for Normanton Park.
Moving on to the 3 things that we don't like about Normanton Park. Number 1 is also timing.
So this timing thing is really a double-edged sword, chicken and egg thing, whatever you want to call it. With the sale being delayed more than a year due to the new sale license being slapped on the developer, they have lesser time to sell. So the first doubt would be, can they finish selling in time before their ABSD deadline? And if they cannot sell finish, will they lower their prices?
But how we see it is that this delay is one of the reasons why they are pricing it so competitively now. The real indicator would be on the launch weekend. But that being said, if your budget is 1.2 million or below, you can't really afford to wait. But for the larger units, you can probably see what's the take-up rate during launch weekend before deciding whether you want to proceed. So why were they slapped with a no sale license?
The developer's track record. So that's the second thing we don't like about Normanton Park. The reason why the launch was delayed for so long was because the developer's sale license was revoked due to his poor performance in the previous 2 projects. So while the developer's track record is something left to be desired, we can bank on the fact that the authorities have come down pretty hard on them, imposing very stringent rules on quality such as a 100% quality mark certification.
On to the third thing that we don't like about Normanton Park, location. While it's considered to be RCR or city fringe, there are not many amenities around there. And if we take a look at one map, the nearest anything is at least 1 km away.
There's no easy way of getting to those places unless you drive or depend on the shuttle bus that the development will provide. But hey, if you are the kind that like to get away from the hustle and bustle of everything, right, like things to be quiet, then Normanton Park will be perfect. It also borders the huge Kent Ridge Hill Park. While waiting for the launch, we feel that there's quite a number of good alternatives to Normanton Park that you can consider. And if you're really interested, let us help you out with our pre-launch checklist to make sure that you have all your bases covered.
We'll put out our review on the layout soon and dive into the nitty-gritty of the development. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time,
Bye.